Leo, this is your forecast for June, and we got a few nice little tricks up our sleeve that could just feel can come out in a beautiful way this month here for you. We got this little group going on up in your 11th house for hopes and dreams and shared time with friends and social networks and so forth. We got the sun, we got the new moon, we got Mercury and Venus. However, let's start out with Mercury because Mercury is retrograde this month and will be until the 23rd. So this is showing up in your 11th house. So this is where you want to pay attention to what is being said and what you are listening to, what you're receiving, making sure that we're hearing what is being said and what we're communicating is being heard from who you're talking to. Miscommunications, misunderstandings do happen under Mercury retrograde. And so just double check on it, especially here, Leo, when it comes to any kind of contracts. We do like to try to avoid any kind of contractual signing if we can. Sometimes the show must go on, so be it. Read the fine print and do know that it might just backfire where we need to redo or retweak it a little bit down the road. But yeah, it will be retrograde until June 23rd. So I would advise waiting to July at least to sign anything of major importance. But it also comes to the things that we purchase, especially anything of electronics and so forth, will seem to go haywire, and then we have to return, right, or get a refund and go do it all over again. So we try to refrain from buying anything electronic. There could be delays, that kind of thing too, with Mercury retrograde. But since it's in the area of your 11th house, we might also advise interacting with your friends or your networks. You could see maybe your social network can go down, or something with Facebook or Instagram might go a little funky. Delays and hiccups. Don't get frustrated. It is doing what it's needing to do. And if anything is delayed, it's for your higher good. We always have to trust the universe in that sense. And sometimes we don't really see what it was intended or the meaning of it before down the road and we look back, right? Patience is the key word here for June. Venus, though, is love, right? And so you're sharing all this love to your network, to your friends and so forth. It will be with you to June 3rd, where it's going to move into your 12th house. So I can see how May might have been very socially more so active than it has been in the previous months, right? And I'm really happy to see that you've been meeting up again with your friends that you haven't seen maybe for a long time. So that is good. But when it moves into your 12th house, that is more the internal self, the internal being, needing to be one quietly with self so you can listen to your creative, higher thoughts, channeling, right? Downloading creativity. And so from June 3rd and the rest of the month, Venus will be cruising here. It's just asking you to take some me time, because the 12th house is where we just like to be a little bit more silent, right? So we can hear ourselves. This is where we recharge our batteries. Now on the 23rd, no, on the 12th, I'm sorry, Venus is Mars has been in this area for a while, so you're already a little bit now accustomed to it as you enter into this month. But on the 12th, Mars will be moving into your first house, okay? But for a little bit, you'll have both Venus and Mars, and that is resetting your battery, recharging your inner self so that you could be ready to go out. When Mars gets into your first house, you're closing off on a 2-year cycle right now. So when it gets into that first house, you're going to be running for 2 years until it comes back into the area where it is currently, right? So you're going to feel that much more energetic, wanting to come out and do things. And your sense of purpose is really strong when Mars is in this area where you're I'm not going to say chase, but it could be that too, running and chasing those goals that you've been dreaming about. Well, Mars was in that 12th house, so pay attention. What are you thinking about in May? Because here in June, you're going to go after it, manifest it, and so forth too. But what I really want to point out as a big change here in June is Jupiter. We love Jupiter. Jupiter is so generous. You know, it's so abundant. Think about the size of Jupiter, right? And it rules hope and so forth, and also money, just like Venus, but maybe in an even higher sense due to the size of it. It is now dipping its toe into your 8th house of income, not necessarily your month-to-month income, but your income through investments, money that you share with other people, that is. So if you are partnering with anybody, or if you have investments and stocks and so forth, you could see how this is going to be that much more lucrative and exciting. If you're into cryptocurrencies, you might see now how Jupiter is going to expand this area because it's not your day job income. It's where your money is growing, as in your investments and savings. Now, we're only going to have it for a couple of months so you can get your feet wet and get a feel of what Jupiter is going to do for you after it's retrograde in this autumn and coming back around, but it will show you what you can expect more of there in 2022. So pay attention, right? And try to work with Jupiter, and Jupiter will work with you. We got the full moon, Leo, 3 degrees in Capricorn. For you, that's showing up in your 6th house. So that is on June 24th. And what I like to say about that is what's going to be highlight under this full moon